The Stars Are Hollow welcomes you back. Last time, in the Life Lottery, Marie and her daughters followed the Hun through the desert until it brought them to the compound, an unnatural structure more grown than built, alive with light and impossible shapes. The road was never theirs to choose, and by the end, Marie understood. She hadn't been guided, she was being delivered. Now, as dawn bleeds across the horizon, the fence stands before her, a barrier of steel and veins, pulsing with the life of its own. What waits beyond is not just a place, but a claim, and Marie is about to discover that the anomaly is no longer pulling her. It has chosen her. This is Chapter 5, Ground Zero. The first light of dawn bled across the horizon, raw and wounded, staining the world in red and grey. Marie crouched low behind a jagged rock formation, her breath shallow, her pulse a frantic drum against her ribs. The steel mesh fence stretched before her, a barrier between her and whatever lay ahead. But the anomaly didn't care about fences. The pull inside her chest tightened, not just an urge, but a claim. It wasn't pulling her anymore, it was claiming her. Beyond the fence, the world was breaking. The ground swelled and dipped, twisting in ways the mind refused to accept. The air shimmered, bending between heat and cold, silent and a faint vibration that wasn't just sound, but something deeper. It curled through her bones like a second heartbeat, one that didn't belong to her. Armed patrols moved with eerie precision, boots crunching on brittle earth while drones hovered overhead, sweeping red lights across the barren ground. The fence itself pulsed with sickly veins of light, tangled through the steel like something growing inside a body. A rabbit hung from the barbs, its body fused grotesquely to the metal. Marie turned away, but then she saw it breathe. A slow, shallow rise of its ribcage. A deep, distant wrongness settled in her gut. It wasn't dead, but it wasn't alive either. She forced her eyes to her daughters. Amy clung to her arm, trembling, her small fingers digging into Marie's sleeve. Sally stood close, her face pale, her eyes unfocused, rubbing at her own arm as though trying to wipe something away. They had barely spoken since leaving the car, their unnatural silence not from fear, but as though something else had settled inside them too. Marie turned and cupped Amy's cheek. "Stay close to me, no matter what happens." Amy nodded, but she wasn't looking at Marie. She was staring at the fence, her lips slightly parted, her brows drawn together. Marie recognised the look. Not curiosity, not fear. Recognition. Sally swallowed hard. "Mummy, are we going to die?" The words hit her like a knife to the ribs. "No," Marie said, too fast, too sharp. She forced her voice to steady. "I won't let that happen." The patrols moved on. A gap. Marie sucked in a breath and yanked the girls forward. They ran. The fence loomed, a fractured divide between here and whatever was waiting. Marie scanned for an opening, and there it was. A place where the metal had warped outwards, the glowing vines slack, motionless. The air inside the gap felt unnaturally still. She hesitated, just for a second. Then without a word, she pulled Amy and Sally towards the opening. The moment Marie's fingers brushed the vines, something changed. The world didn't shatter, it stretched. A shock, not pain, but something deeper, something beneath sensation. A rippling wave passed through her body and she felt it, not just in her skin, but in her bones, in her blood. Her fingers blurred at the edges, her arms rippling like heat distortion. She gasped, but no breath filled her lungs. For a moment, she thought she had no lungs at all. She was unravelling. Her limbs felt weightless. Her thoughts stretched thin, dissolving. She was pouring out into something vast, something waiting, something hungry. A city of shifting towers whispered in languages never spoken. A sky that had no colour, because colour didn't exist here. Voices pressed against her skull, watching, waiting, reaching. Her hands, too long. Her arms, just wrong. No. She tried to hold on to herself, to be herself, but she was slipping, fading, becoming. A small hand grabbed hers, Amy. The warmth of her daughter's skin yanked her back. Marie gasped into her own body, stumbling, her arms tingling with a deep numbness as if they'd been dipped in ice. She shook them violently, trying to rid herself of the wrongness still clinging to her skin. Amy was staring at her. "You felt it, didn't you?" she whispered. Marie's throat tightened. "What?" Amy tilted her head slightly, as if listening to something Marie couldn't hear. "It wants you," she said softly. The words chilled Marie to her core. No time to understand. Sally tugged at her sleeve, her voice small. "Mummy, we have to go." Marie nodded numbly. She shoved Sally through and squeezed in after her. The moment her feet hit the warped ground on the other side, she felt it. The air wasn't thinner here. She was. A voice cut through the stillness. "Stop! Hands in the air!" Floodlights flared. Blinded, Marie turned, shielding the girls. Two soldiers advanced, rifles raised. One was younger, his helmet askew, his grip unsteady. The other, older, steadier, spoke into his radio. "She crossed the fence," the younger soldier muttered. His hands were shaking. "She actually made it through." The older soldier's face was tight, not with anger, but something close to fear. "Get off the ground," he barked. "Now, before it takes notice." Marie's pulse slammed into her throat. The anomaly was no longer just pulling her, it was choosing her. The soldiers hesitated, shifting uneasily, rifles trained, but uncertain. Marie took a slow step forward. "I have my kids," she said carefully. "I just want them to get somewhere safe." The older soldier's jaw tightened. "Lady, you don't get it. You made it through that fence. There is no safe anymore." The younger soldier took a step back. "We need to get out of here. Now." The ground pulsed beneath them. The air breathed. Marie grabbed Amy's hand. "Run," she whispered. "Now." The younger soldier jerked, his body convulsed. His arm, gone. Not severed, not wounded, just missing. He screamed, but it wasn't a scream, it was a distorted, garbled absence of sound. Then the rest of him vanished. No blood, no body, just gone. The older soldier turned and ran, shouting into his radio. Marie didn't stop. Sally tripped, crying, too exhausted to keep going. Amy clutched Marie's arm, breath ragged. "Mummy, I can't." Marie skidded to a stop. The pull inside her was unbearable now. Not a tug, a demand. It wouldn't let her stay. Her breath hitched. "I can't take them with me." The truth slammed into her with brutal clarity. They would slow her down, hold her back, and the anomaly, it was pulling her, not them. It had chosen her, not them. Her stomach twisted violently. She squeezed her daughter's hands, staring into their tear-streaked faces. Amy's expression shifted, a flicker of understanding, of something beyond her years. "You have to go," she whispered. Marie's breath shuddered. "I love you," she choked out. Amy's eyes widened. "Mummy!" Marie yanked free. Amy shrieked, grabbing for her, but Marie shoved her backwards into Sally. "Run! Keep running! Don't stop!" Sally was sobbing, clutching at Amy. "Mummy, please!" Marie turned and ran, not away from danger, towards it. Her body unravelled as she moved. She felt herself lifting, weightless. For a breathless second, she wasn't solid anymore. Her edges blurred, her existence uncertain. Amy screamed, "Mummy!" The air fractured, and then Marie was no longer there. Somewhere behind her, someone was still screaming, but she no longer remembered why. Marie's choice has been made. Her body unravelling, her past dissolving, her daughters left behind in a world already breaking. The anomaly has not simply taken her, it has welcomed her. Next time, in Chapter 6, The Edge, Marie will stand at the threshold of something vast and unknowable, a place where her own mind becomes the landscape, where shadows are witnesses, and where the memory of Amy and Sally will strike like a wound in the silence. The anomaly has chosen her, but what will it make of her? If this chapter pulled you closer to the hollow, then let us know. Like, subscribe, and share The Stars Are Hollow. Every voice strengthens the echo, and the echo is listening. The hollow remembers. Do you?
Shadows keep you roll. The stars they eye, the feels